Hello, C3AK. It's a fine Wednesday morning. Beautiful weather outside the window behind me there. And we've been spending some of our isolation time here at the Simmons house, cleaning up the backyard and doing some projects around the house. And just trying to keep from going completely stir crazy while also Karen continues to do the best that she can with her class at the Anchorage School District. And I've been really privileged to have lots and lots of phone conversations with folks as they're dealing with things in their lives, and Zoom meetings, and working on some music, spending entire days sanitizing groceries when they come into the house and things like that. Both of the boys are still working over at Smashburger, and we're thankful for all of that, for all of our family, that we're able to continue to work and do those sorts of things. We're remembering and praying for those of you who have had issues with income and jobs, and who knows what lays on the future horizon. But we know that God is good, and He will help us through this time, no matter what happens. And really am thankful for those of you who've been able to join us live on Sunday mornings at 10 o'clock with our live stream here from the house. It's been actually pretty fun to do from here, even with the technical glitches once in a while, and then the complete meltdown at the beginning of Easter Sunday service that we finally figured out and worked out. But we made it through. Everything's okay, and we're clicking along pretty good. I've been gathering a few more pieces of equipment that are going to be coming in to be able to allow us, once we are able to at least be back at the church with the worship team, to live broadcast from there. We weren't quite ready to do that when this whole thing dropped. We were on the way, but I was planning to spread it out over a little longer time period, because we didn't have all of the equipment that we needed to really do it the way that we wanted to do it here in the future. So I've got, I think, one final piece of equipment coming in this week, and we've spent a little bit of money on those things, but not a ton, trying to keep it as compact as possible. And we're grateful, of course, for the resources that God has already given us there technologically at the church. So we're looking forward to that. I had hoped that next Tuesday, the 5th of May, we would have our first worship team gathering and prepare to broadcast from the church on May 10th. But I think I'm going to have to postpone that for at least another week. I had been anticipating that we would get some further direction from the municipality of Anchorage this week, specifically related to churches, religious services, and things like that, but that still has not materialized since the last emergency order went out on the 27th, I believe it was. And right now, the way that it stands, we could host the worship team there in the auditorium, and if everyone showed up, we would have anywhere from 14 to 17 people, which is below the 20-person limit that we are under in the municipality right now. However, at this point, we would also have to do sanitizing of touch surfaces, every surface that people touch, every hour, as well as the worship team would have to wear masks. That does not sound like a good process for singing and expressing and encouraging you to join along with us in worship, is to have everyone's face hidden behind masks. So there just are still too many logistics in the mix here that I don't think we could hit all of the right notes per se, and really get both the quality that we want to get, as well as fulfill the local mandates and requirements. So we are still a ways off from being able to gather back for church in our building, and Jason and I, of course, continue to look at those details every day, scouring the information that's coming out, and trying to process what that means for us, and how can we safely provide hand sanitizing stations and traffic flow that meets the requirements of the mandates, and all those kinds of things. So So that's where we are on that. We will let you know just as soon as we know anything further about that. And for this coming Sunday, for sure, we'll be back here live from the Simmons living room, and we'll be privileged to do that for you, and hopefully have some great videos again to share with you this week. Pastor Jason will be with us, and it'll be a good time. So other than that, things for the church as an entity, as our church, are doing fine. We're plugging right along. I want to say a huge thank you to those who have been able to continue to faithfully give to help cover our insurance expenses, utilities. We have shut down everything electrically that we can in the building, so that there's no just passive electrical use happening while nothing else is going on in there, as well as have shut down the boilers completely, which we dropped down to 28 degrees last night. Come on, Alaska. Let's get with it. It's springtime. Have you noticed out there? But it wasn't for very long, and I don't think we have any issues with that. But that snuck up on me last night. Didn't expect that. But that keeps the gas bill down to an absolute minimum. And yeah, so we're doing what we can. We still have those water garbage we've reduced down to a residential box instead of the full dumpster. So that's cutting us down quite a bit for the foreseeable future. And everybody's been really great to work with us through the utility companies and all those things. Beyond that, we of course have salaries that we pay, and upkeep around the building, things that continue to go on that even though we're not using it, we still have to take care of. So to any extent that you have been or are able to continue to give through our giving portal at c3ak.com/donate, I encourage you to do that, and we certainly pray for the Lord's provision for your families and your home during this time. And then some things that are coming up. We did get official notice yesterday that Graceworks Ministries has canceled their summer completely at this point because they just don't know, like the rest of us, what the mandates will be like by the time June, July rolls around, and would they be able to fulfill those mandates while still having park ministries and having people in our building in close proximity and traveling from other states. And that's just that's a huge disappointment for them. It's a huge disappointment for us. And I want you to pray for those guys, Scott Kirby and the leadership over at Graceworks, as they try to figure out what the rest of their year looks like. That'll be a big impact for us in the opportunity to do community ministry. That was something that we certainly enjoyed a great deal over the last couple of years, and felt like last year we were just really starting to get our feet under it in the park over off of Strawberry, in the Strawberry area. And so we won't have that opportunity for this summer in that way. We'll continue to kind of look and see what other opportunities might we have. That will also impact us financially as far as our budget looks, because they do bring in some funds to us every summer, but I haven't had a chance to go back and really analyze that. But I think we'll still be okay. If we're able to continue to support the church through our tithes and offerings to at least a similar degree as we have over the past several months and past many years. Jason reminds me all the time, we're I think 17 years old this year. Christ Community Church is. We've been through a lot of ups and downs, tough times and big times, and God has been faithful to us through every single one, and He will be through this as well. He knows everything, and He knows exactly what He wants to do. So we trust Him for that. All I can do at our house, and all I ask you to do at your house, is to just be faithful. Seek God and do as God instructs you to do in all those areas of your life. And I know that we might have some folks that have just joined us, because we've got people who are hanging out with us on Sunday morning on the live stream who haven't necessarily been part of the church on Sunday mornings with us there in the building. Listen, if it's meaningful to you and it's helping you, if you're able, I would encourage you to join with the people of Christ Community Church and just send what you can as way of a donation, and join us in that effort of keeping the church solvent and going forward and doing the things that it can do. And then on the tail end of all of that, I really want you to understand that we would love to know if you have a need that you are having trouble meeting right now. Is there some way that we can help you? Because that's also a big part of the resources that come into the church, is that it becomes a place where all of us together can assist others who are having a hard time or having trouble with things specifically in their little world. So you be sure and reach out to us if that's the case for you, and we'll do what we can. We'll see what we can do. We, of course, as it's springtime, that means also that we will start doing some upkeep around the outside of the building as we can, maintaining our fidelity to the local mandates. But, we're going to have to start cutting the grass sometime soon. There's gravel that needs to be cleared off the parking lot and all those little things. If you're interested in helping with that, please drop me a note, Pastor Tracy at c3ak.com. We never have enough people to help with that, and that's just the bottom line. It usually falls on a handful of people, 3 or 4 people. Last summer, Kim Garrison and Lloyd Fuller and myself and our family frankly did pretty much all the work all summer long, along with some help from David Garrison and James, and a little bit from Peyton too, I think. So the Garrison family was a huge help to us in that last year, and we could use more assistance with that at all times. So if you're able to help with that, it usually is like one evening a week where we just go, and if we have 5 or 6 people, we can knock that thing out pretty quick when it comes to mowing the grass and all that stuff. But we always need help. Somebody to tend the flower beds. Oh, Diana Williams, I think she was kind of wrangling especially the front box out there by the big sign. Really appreciate that always. But all those little things. And it seems like the almanac says we're going to have a great summer. It'll always be a good time to get outside and enjoy some fresh air and, community with some other human beings, at least from 6 feet away potentially, but hopefully by then things will be a little bit better, right? And then that's the last thing I wanted to say is, friends, I encourage you to continue to pray for our world, our country, right here in our community, that we will get to the other side of this together. And I know there's a lot of strong feelings out there about mandates and freedoms and how serious is this, and man, this is super serious, and all of those things. I'm not smart enough, don't have the qualifications to figure all of those things out. Here's what I know. I'm called as a believer to love my neighbor and to do everything I can to express that love towards them. So whatever that looks like for you, that's what I encourage you to do, is be faithful to the Word of God, be faithful to the commands of Jesus Christ. When he said, do the things that I've commanded you, at the top of that list was love God with everything you've got. And the second was just like it, he said, and that was to love the person next to you, your neighbor in your home, your neighbor in your family, your neighbor next door, your neighbor down the street, your neighbor around the world. Love them unapologetically and fully, just as Christ does. Folks, I love you. I miss you very, very much, and it's a privilege to continue to come to you via technology and share the gospel with you. So join us on Sunday, 10 o'clock. You can get to the link directly from our homepage, c3ak.com. That link that sits right there with the big preview that says live from Pastor Tracy's house. Click that link. It'll take you right to our live stream on Sunday. The little blue link that says previous live streams will take you to our YouTube page, and you can see ones that maybe you missed. So come and join us. Bring a friend, send a link, and we'll see you on Sunday. Bye-bye.